Hey, I'm Mitch, one of the volunteers at the museum. Welcome to Telephone Tuesdays, where we talk about all good things telephone.
Just a moment, please. The call is being diverted.
Appropriately today, we're actually going to be looking at a telephone. It's called a Buttinski. Why is it called a butt? Well, because you can literally butt into conversations and listen to them as they're happening, routed through the exchange. Like many of the telephone tools, that's not its official name. Officially, it's called the GPO Telephone 280, but not quite as catchy. There were loads of different types of butt over the years. This one has a rubber case, so if you drop it, it won't break. This one has a plug that plugs right into the test jacks of the selector. And this one has crocodile clips that you can plug in undetected anywhere in the exchange and listen in. There are legitimate reasons why you'd want to do that, to test the quality of the line or the mechanisms on the selectors. The Post Office Protection Act of 1884 meant that if telephone calls came into your knowledge, they had to be regarded as strictly confidential. But that didn't mean that they weren't allowed to listen to the telephone calls, and it would be something that engineers would do if they got a bit bored. As you can imagine, certain conversations were much more interesting than others. For instance, a local brothel would give some interesting insights into certain customers' requirements, and it was common practice to leave the telephone off the hook during business hours. So if an interesting conversation was overheard, a shout would go up around the exchange and all of the engineers, one by one, would be plugging in their butts to the exchange. Trouble was, each of the butts adds a little bit of resistance to the telephone line. So as they're plugging each of them in, the telephone call is getting quieter and quieter, and some of the subscribers cottoned on and shouting abuse down the telephone line at the nosy engineers. To add to the fun, the butt could join in the conversation by pressing this red button and stir up the argument. There's a dial conveniently placed here, and you can seize the selector by pressing and twisting this red button on the side, and then you can dial to check that all of the mechanisms are working right. This is oil dag, a horrible graphite-based lubricant that they use on these switches behind me. What you do is paint a bit of this on your workmate's earpiece, so when they put it to their ear, they suddenly got a big black smudge on their ear and they're walking all day around the exchange without knowing. Sam, can we just borrow you for a sec? A little bit of B-roll. Can you just plug this into the selector, like seize it and dial? No, it would just be good with you. Yeah, if you just plug it in and then just put it to your ear.
What are you saying? Even idiots can operate it.
Exactly.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
Just stand there for a sec. Just stand there.
Thank you, mate. Cheers for doing that. B-roll for us.
Fair enough. What was that even about?
What was it about? What?
Let me show you. We're filming a little bit of the video just about a little prank. Is that you put oil dag around the earphone of the butt.
Oh, you buggers. That's not coming off.
So that is the Buttinski. For much more cool stuff from the museum, check the Patreon link down below, which helps fund everything that happens around here. See you next Tuesday.